Hey guys, what's going on? Philip here, or Doc's Echo, whatever you prefer to call me. And I'm back at you again today with another Call of Duty video. If I sound kind of stopped up, it's because I am. The weather's been kind of off here the past couple days, so it's kind of gotten to me. So basically at this point I'm trying not to leak all over my equipment. So let me start off by saying also that I'm really enjoying the support that I'm getting from everyone who's watching the videos. It's nothing crazy. I mean, it seems like with every video I'm seeing an increase in views or likes, so that's pretty cool, and I appreciate it, guys. I don't care if it's 2 more likes than the video before it got. I don't care if it's 1 like. I don't care if it's a half a like. I really do appreciate it. It kind of tells me that I'm doing something right. I actually read online that, as long as you continue to gain views or likes, then, you're obviously doing something right. So, once again, I appreciate it. I don't care if it's 1 subscriber, 1,000 subscribers, 1 like, 2 likes. I don't care. I appreciate it. So, back to the topic at hand. So today I want to tell you guys a funny story. What happened today? It wasn't funny at first. At first it kind of pissed me off pretty bad. And you'll understand why, I'm sure. But so today, what the hell was that? So today we leave my my oldest daughter's soccer game, and it was actually pretty cold outside. It was real. It had rained the night before. It was really shitty outside. I mean, it just wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't a good day for soccer. But then again, I mean, soccer was never really my sport, so what day is good? So we leave my oldest daughter's soccer game, and I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to go put down a pre-order for the new Call of Duty. The way I do pre-orders is I usually lay down a $5 pre-order. That way it just basically reserves me a copy. In case, something happens, I'm not able to pick it up, there's still a copy there for me to pick up on release day. So so I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pre-order this game, that way I have a copy. Well, she tells me, she said, didn't you just tell me the other day that you weren't feeling it and you were kind of disappointed? Well, instead of explaining to her, why I had a change of heart or whatever, thank you for that, partner, I appreciate it. Instead of explaining it to her, I basically just showed her the video and I said, here, watch this. So, yes, I made her watch the video. There's another one. Thank you again. I made her watch the video, and I told her that, by the time she was watching it, she was like, oh, okay. I don't really know if it became clear to her, but she got it anyway. So, I prepared to drive my my massive ass, into GameStop. I'm really excited. I'm pumped. I'm ready to pre-order this. I'm ready to get it going. And I walk in. There is a line from here to Texas in that store. Obviously not from here to Texas. It's just an exaggeration, but there was at least probably 10 or 12 people in front of me, and for a little store like GameStop, that it takes up a lot of room, so it got pretty crowded. So as I'm standing there, I get in the line. I'm probably about 5 or 6 people back from the register, and I'm patiently waiting for my my opportunity, my time to throw down my money and pre-order this game. And I actually assumed that that's why everyone was there. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out they were there for different reasons. Actually, as far as I know, there wasn't one pre-order in that line that I was in. So I was like, yes, this is going to be great, because I know all these kids that are sitting around there. There's like 4 or 5 really young kids in the line, and I know that they want the game probably, and, I tell myself that their parents won't buy it for them. So the fact that I'm actually pre-ordering the game, they're gonna look at me like I'm just fucking awesome. So I'm standing in line there. I've got my wife and kids out in the car. My wife's kind of tired. She doesn't really feel like walking into the game store watching me get my geek on. So she stays out in the car, and so I'm kind of in a hurry anyway because I don't want to leave her out there forever. So I'm standing in line, and the woman in front of me, the woman and son in front of me, begin to tell me that they've been in line for like 15 minutes. So I thought, well, that ain't really too bad. I mean, I've stood in line a lot longer than that at Walmart and gotten nothing in return, so nothing that I care for anyway. So I'm standing in line. I'm thinking, it's not gonna be that bad. I'll probably be in and out. I have pretty good luck when it comes to shopping lines. So I'm standing there. I'm waiting my turn, and the woman at the register, I don't know what they're buying, but it's like little figures. I think they might be for a game, this pretty popular game called Warhammer. I've never played Warhammer, but I do know that those little pieces, little figures, are expensive, and I do know that I don't understand the first fucking thing about that game. But from what I hear, it's really fun. I'd probably give it a shot once with other people's, pieces or characters. But anyway, sorry. So I'm standing in line. This woman has literally 25 of these characters on the register, on the counter there. So I'm like, well, okay, so this is going to take a while because those barcodes are little, and I know they're not going to scan right. So I begin to stand there. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be cool. Patience is a virtue sometimes, and I'm trying to be legit. I'm trying to be nice to the guys that are working there. I'm trying not to be in too big of a hurry. I'm trying not to just rush, make the situation stressful. So I'm standing there and waiting my turn, being a good boy, and lo and behold, when she gets done ringing up these little characters, she continues to tell the guy at the register. He tells her a total, which was like $400 million or something like that, and she tells the guy at the register. She said, "Oh yeah, I wanted the Xbox One too." So the guy that's up front, he's worked there forever. I mean, he's the only employee that's still there, I think. But he says, "Oh, okay. Well, let me get that for you." So then he begins to, I guess he's training a new guy. So he begins to get the new guy under the counter, and he's explaining to him how to pick out an Xbox One. I guess I'm not really sure. What I do know is it's really not that hard. I mean, I just hope and pray that the guy knows the difference between Xbox and PlayStation. So they squat down under the counter, and they're under there for at least 10 minutes, I know. So at this point, I'm getting a little agitated because it really doesn't take that long to pick out a game system, especially when there's only really two to choose from. So we continue to stand there. Well, then the woman in front of me with her son, she's getting aggravated, so she starts cussing up a storm, and then the woman behind me that was with her grandson starts cussing up a storm. So I just have this tornado of curse words and negativity and all this other shit flying around my head. So then, it's starting to, piss me off. So then, I'm like, I'm just going to start cussing, because I'm getting aggravated. So I stand there, and I continue to stand there like the dumbass that I am. I continue to stand there. So then, the two guys finally pop their heads up from the counter. I'm not really sure what they were doing down there. I don't know if they're making out or actually finding the system. But they stand up from the counter, and, they hand the Xbox to the woman. She's out the door. That's just one person down. So the person behind her goes, no big deal. They're buying a couple used games, and then, the person behind her, which was the person in front of me, not doing much, buying a couple games, no big deal. So it's my turn. I'm getting ready to walk up to the counter. I'm getting ready to just do my thing. I'm getting ready to lay down my money, pre-order my game, and thank you for that. And then I remember why I hadn't done it already. And I remember that what you guys don't know is that my disk drive actually quit working in my PlayStation a few years ago. and well, I'm sorry, not a few years ago, a few months ago, and I've not been able to play a disc in it since. So, with that being said, I stood in line at a GameStop waiting to pre-order the new Call of Duty, and when I finally get to the fucking register, I realize that my disc drive doesn't even work on my PlayStation. So all that time I waited for nothing. There was, I mean, I should have just remembered that. You know, it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. I should have remembered. I even blame my wife because she knew about it. But really, it wasn't her fault. It was mine. I'm kicking myself in the dick over it right now, telling it to you guys. So I guess I'm going to have to get a new system or get my disk drive fixed. Regardless, I'm going to have to get something done about it, just in case that ever were to happen again. So I don't know. I guess my 4-year-old might have put something in there, a quarter or something. I'm not real sure. But regardless, it doesn't work, and it's never really caused me any problems until today. Usually I just digitally download all of my games or whatever, demos, whatever. So yeah. So that happened to me today. I hope to God that you guys never have to experience that. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. And yeah, always remember, if your disk drive doesn't work and you go to pre-order a fucking game, because that's time you never get back. You can refund the game if you hate it, but you'll never get that time back regardless of what you do. So yeah, I guess you can consider this a public service announcement. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I appreciate you guys watching. Keep it coming. Remember to critique me. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know what I can change. Other than adding some video of my face in there, I'm still working on that. And I keep saying it, but we've got some commentary coming from Obi-Swan and Alpha 2. So just keep watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and give me a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks. It's been real.